good morning. I'm Rebecca Thompson Hitt, and I'm here again with Christy Farr, author of Is Home Your Happy Place? And if you were following along last month, I had 27 days to get out of my house and 2,200 square feet into a 10 by 10 storage unit. And Christy was my guide. She was the one who, I can't even tell you how many times I sent her, private emails. Oh my God, what do I do with this? And, it's because I just needed to keep going. And Christy was just like, this rock that got me through this. And so I'm so grateful. Quick update. I got out of the house in 29 days, which is pretty darn good considering what we were doing. We made it into the 10 by 10 storage unit. We got everything in there that we wanted, and we still had space to spare. And so that was good. And now we're on the road. And we are, I believe, 7 days in to our journey. We're in St. Louis today. And so we've been living out of our car, we're traveling. And just already, I just have to say, it's amazing how little you actually need. And I keep hearing your voice, and it's not like, oh, I'm not going to buy anything. It's like, we made it to the very first stop, and I bought this cup, which has been amazing. It's an insulated, it does heat, it does cold. I've got cold water in it right now. I mean, this has been great, but I'm asking that question, what do I need? And will this serve me? Will I use this every day? If it's going in the car, I need to use it every day or close to it.
Right.
So I have to tell you, I just have to say, your voice is in my head. It's gotten in there. And
some of my clients have called that the little Christy in your head.
Yes.
They'll say the little Christy in my head said, there's one on each shoulder.
Yes. Yes. I definitely have a little Christy on my shoulder in my
head.
And it's great. It's so freeing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's, I think what happens here in this process is I don't know if I've ever explained to you what I've been told this is that I hear for people, but because I knew I wasn't psychic. I knew what psychic was. I knew I wasn't that. I knew that I wasn't talking to angels and that. I knew that I wasn't all of those things. And I finally would just ask, what the heck is this? What is this thing that gives me pictures? What is this thing that gives me stories and shows me images from my own life, or consultations with other people so that I could tell a story to help people find their way? And I kept hearing that my higher self is having conversation with your higher self. Mm. And so that's why when I have these one-on-ones with people, I'm hearing this really, really intimate, really dead-on information that maybe other people can identify with, but the person I'm talking to is always like, oh my gosh, yes, yes, yes. And it's shocking to people because it's a lot of times it's things they've been in their own heads and didn't believe. And so when I give you a, message, it's yours, it's for you. And that makes it all really efficient.
So lovely.
Yeah.
You have such a gift for this, and to really help people step into themselves, into their authentic being,
right.
Into releasing what no longer serves. Trey says it 16 times a day now, at least, I released what no longer served.
Yeah.
That's all I did. And I didn't need those things. And I feel so much lighter and so much better. He says this over and over and over.
Good.
And you've become part of our honorary family. I mean,
Well, you are mine as well. Everybody's like, how's Rebecca doing? How's the house? Are they out? Did they get out? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So, and I've had so many reflections. I wanted to name this because after I got out of the house, it was a ridiculously crazy last 2 days. I mean, ridiculous. And I kept replaying things that you had said earlier in the journey that for one reason or another, just I didn't quite get to, or, those things. And as we're at the very end and we're looking at our stack of things that needs to go to my parents, which is where we're going to be staying. And that's like our home base, things that not going on the trip, but things that we're going to need when we're back in a regular space. And Trey we rented a van, just to get our things to storage the last, hurrah. And so we're loading it, and he comes back in and he's like, there's not room for these things. And these things are the most important things. They're the things that we've set aside.
Right.
And I just kept hearing Christy in my head saying, yeah, those things that are the most important, you need to just go ahead and start taking out so that you're not in this situation at the last minute. I mean, and you'd said this weeks before. So I wanted to name that, because I kept thinking about it over and over and over again, and just like how you had this vision of everything that needed to happen, and provided me with that structure, and whether I could take advantage of it, whether I could do it or not, I just kind of stood back and just admired the beauty of what you had offered, and how it would have been so much less stressful at the last minute had I been able to do that.
If you just done exactly what I told you to do. Yeah. Yes. No, I think that happens a lot in our lives. We'll have a session with somebody and they'll hold out this like big picture. And I think that the healing actually comes from stumbling to that wisdom on our own, Yeah. And so what's nice is that changed you. This whole experience changed you in a way that information will be really useful next time.
Yes.
Right? Because even if it took you all the way till the end to recognize the truth of it or to be able to apply it, I absolutely can see that from now on it'll go the other direction. You will start with the most important stuff, and when all of the most important stuff is accounted for, you'll be like, the rest of this is obviously junk. Right. So but I think it's a really normal thing to start with the other end and find ourselves with the most precious things. That it doesn't really matter how we get here. The point is we got here. We always get there if we just keep working. Right.
And that's, and it was just this moment. It wasn't like, I mean, I literally did the best I could possibly do. And so there was no like, oh my God, if you had just, there was none of that. It's just this moment, this crystalline moment of, wow, damn, Christy's really like, wow, looking at this, it was a moment I just had to pause, and I had like so many things going on at that exact moment, but I literally stopped and just looked at my pile of, the most precious things and went, yeah, that Christy really knows what she's talking about.
This was a month-long testimonial to my brilliance. Yeah, no, it wasn't really. It's how much I love this work, and how, yes, I just said it. This is literally my dream, It's just like my dream come true. So thank you for letting me play. This is what I get out of bed for every day. Mm-hmm. We all just get out of bed. We just want to be useful. We want to find a way to be useful. And so thank you for letting me be useful.
Yeah. And thank you. I am so grateful for you being part of this journey. I mean, you are indelibly linked to, and tangled up in the best possible way in this part of my story. Yeah. And I'm so grateful for that.
Yes. It's amazing to be so bonded to somebody that I've met once in person. And I'm just like, this is me and Rebecca doing our thing again. It's fine. Like, it's the most normal thing in the world. And we've been in the same place one time. I think one.
Yeah. Maybe two. I mean, a couple days at one weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. In Nashville. Yeah. So you have a thing coming up, and I just want to let people know about it.
Yes.
Your 21-day, is it a challenge? I can't remember the verbiage.
It's just a workshop. It's just a 21-day workshop. I have my intensives I do every month, and this month is creativity, but we're also doing an anniversary edition, 5-year anniversary edition of the whole Sick of Being Stuck September, which is what started this whole thing that resulted in the book is Home Your Happy Place and these workshops. So we're starting on Friday the 9th. and it'll go for 21 days. And there are daily challenges that are very specific to your home, where I teach you how to adapt them if you're not going to be able to do that challenge for some reason. You'll do it with everybody else in this closed Facebook group. So there's a lot of safe space for processing and for figuring out what needs to happen for you next. It's a brilliant way to sort of initiate and launch into this journey, because you have support not just from me, but from other people as well. And it's, you get the tools, you get to do this with a little bit of hand holding instead of just you being there alone with the book. So it's really fun.
Yeah.
You have a great time.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wanted to make sure that if you've been following along and you've been reading the book or doing challenges or being a part of this, that that Christy's doing this right now. And it's super affordable. And if I had a house, I would probably do it right now but I just did it.
You already did it. Yeah, you did it. Really did it. Yes.
Really did. But I know that there are a lot of people who are following along and who would really benefit. So I just wanted to let people know that this is.
Yes. And it's $49 for the basic registration. So that's just about as affordable as I know how to do it. And then also when you register, you have an option to add private sessions, and they are reduced to $75 a piece. So you can add 1, 2, or 3 to be used during that workshop. So it's just a great way for people to have a little bit of intensive time with me to launch this program for themselves, or to, if they're already started, to push it to the next level. Great community time, great story healing time. So I'd love to have anybody join us that has been excited about this journey that you've just completed.
Yeah. I've heard from so many families who have been following along, and they've been telling me what they've been doing and the changes that they've made. And so I wanted to make sure that they all knew about this layer of support, this opportunity for them to be part of that and now go through this process with you.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. So, and if you take advantage of it, let me know what you think. Let me know what your experience is, because I just went through this and I'd really love to hear. It's so life-changing. I mean, mine was radically life-changing, but just doing this work in whatever way is great for you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very healing and very bonding. It helps people in a family reconnect in a way that a lot of other things just don't seem accessible. It's it has just a very, I don't know, it's like putting a nice salve on a burn, it's just a very healing way to reconnect as a family and to make the space that you live in feel more, doable.
Absolutely. Yeah, so connect with Christy if you haven't already. The Unruly Woman is her website, and you can find her on Facebook, The Unruly Woman. She's got all kinds of opportunities, even if you don't want to do the challenge, that you can be part of her community as well, and take advantage of that as a resource. Our home really needs to be our happy place. That's where we're raising our children. That's the environment, the environmental space, and this is such a great way of really making space for what's really important. I think that's
absolutely
really the best way I can say it, and whatever that means to you.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Thank you so much for doing this. Really wonderful.
I'm so grateful. Thank you, Christy.